Good morning, guys. It's been a little bit since I talked to you guys, but I wanted to do a little get ready with me. Sorry, my hair looks like a mess. A little get ready with me, just like casual vlog style here, and just talk to you guys a little bit and updated you. So last time you guys saw me, I was getting ready to, so I have my mirror over here, so if you see me looking over there, that's what I'm doing. But I was getting ready to go to class for the weekend, and we had our first anatomy tests. I say tests because we have, with my school, we do an anatomy written test. Sorry, the light is getting weird. An anatomy written test, an anatomy gross anatomy practical, and an applied practical. So we had 3 tests over those 2 days. So needless to say, it was an exhausting weekend. So we got there, and first thing on Saturday we did our written test, and that was 50 questions. And then after that, pretty much immediately after that, as soon as everyone was done, we went straight into the gross anatomy practical. So we went into the cadaver lab and then had to identify 25 things there. And then after that, because of how our program is, it's kind of a bummer because it's like you know, in a normal like class, you would take a test and then you would go home and, you know, kind of get to celebrate and whatnot before, you know, the next week or whatever, starting into the new things. But because of the way that our program is, we like had no time to celebrate and just immediately went into like new material right after that. So it was a lot, and then like we still had the applied practical to do the next day. So it was kind of like frustrating because we would like started then like going over new, like the applied practical portion was goniometers and manual muscle testing, as well as you had to pick a cranial nerve and say how you would test it. So we like had to do that the next day, and the day before we're here like learning the goniometer and manual muscle testings for the next unit. So it like gets really like confusing and just tiring and whatnot. And so the next morning, like I said, then we had the applied practical and then went into more material. So that's kind of how the weekend went. As far as how the tests went, I got 100% on my applied practical, so that was great. I felt really good about it, like there was no bumps in the road about that. The gross anatomy, I was really frustrated because I got one like really stupid mistake. Like literally it was like one letter that I got wrong, but it changed it into a completely different part on the body. So that was really frustrating. But anyway, I ended up missing 2 on that one. So I got a 92 on that. And then I don't remember exactly how many I missed on the written, but overall, for like the weekend, based off of, because our things are all like weighted differently. So our gross anatomy was 5% of our grade, and then the other 2 tests were 10% of our grade. So overall, I got like a 91%, which, you know, isn't bad for the first test, I think, or just isn't bad at all, in my opinion. Especially because we, you know, talked about it a lot. And if you've taken, if you're currently taking or you have taken whatever anatomy as a prereq, for like applying to OT school, anatomy in undergrad can be, depending on, I mean, if you have a really great professor, you know, it can be really good. But all of us were talking in my class, and this was my experience exactly, that our anatomy classes in undergrad, or whatever we took for prereq, were like much harder in the way that they were like, some of the questions on the test, like the test would just be so far-fetched and like crazy that you like never figured out how to take the tests. You never knew what to study, you never knew what to expect, and it was just like going in blind every time, and you felt like tricked every time. So at least this didn't feel that way. You know, like there were definitely some trickier questions, but it wasn't anything like, holy crap, like where on earth did they come up with this? So that was good. Other than that, that's my like little school update. Life update is just, I'm still in this like crazy funk of like school. I just don't really, or in school, what am I talking about? I'm just in this crazy funk period of life. And I am the type of person that, and I know this about myself, but no matter like how much I know this about myself, every time I go through it, it is still just as hard and seems just as impossible and seems like I'm never going to get out. So I just know that I take a lot of time to adjust to things. I like have like 3 times the adjustment period of most people, I feel like, and it's really freaking hard because I just feel like there is no end to like how hard this is for me to adjust. And yeah, so that sucks. It's frustrating. I wish there was like, you know, a fast forward button to get through those hard parts. But it is what it is. But let me know if you are someone who is like that, because I feel like most people are not, you know, or most people are just really freaking good at hiding it and don't ever talk about it, which I find even more frustrating, you know. Like it was interesting because we were talking about it, I was talking about it with my parents, and my dad is a doctor, and he was saying that in medical school, he was like, yeah, I used to be like that in medical school. Like we would have to, during my 3rd year, we would have to switch their rotations, switch every like 4 to 6 weeks. And sorry, this has probably been really annoying this whole time. Every 4 to 6 weeks, and he said that like every time he would get like a horrible stomach ache, and he would feel just so bad, and he like literally had to get an endoscopy to check out his stomach because he felt so horrible all the time. So I know where I got it from, but it's just interesting because, you know, it's like my dad never talks about that. I mean, I don't know if that's something that he still, I don't think it's something that he still struggles with, but, you know, like in the past that he has with. So it's just interesting. I wish that more people talked about that if they do struggle with it, because I feel like it's kind of a like taboo thing. I mean, just like any other mental health thing, really. You know, people just cover it up, and, you know, it's like, oh, you're supposed to be happy because this is new and exciting and blah, blah, blah. And so it's like no one wants to talk about the hard stuff. So that's it for today. I'm going to keep doing my makeup, but I won't bore you for much longer, but I just wanted to give you guys an update. And yeah, so talk to you guys next time.